Hello everyone, myself Vivek Kumar Singh, a student of 4th professional year of Lakhimpur College of Veterinary Science. Today I am going to give a presentation on canine distemper. In the next few minutes we will see what are the general signs and symptoms of canine distemper, then which dogs are more prone to canine distemper. We will also see how can a canine distemper be treated and many more things about it. So in the very beginning, let's have a brief overview of this disease. It is a highly contagious systemic viral disease of the dogs seen worldwide. Synonyms: this disease is also known as canine influenza, CARES, and heart-pet disease. This disease is characterized by a diphasic fever, leukopenia, gastrointestinal and respiratory catarrh that is discharged from both nose and mouth. Then we will also see pneumonic and neurological complications. Now etiology. Canine distemper is caused by canine distemper virus of the genus Morbillivirus. The virus belongs to the family Paramyxoviridae and it is a single-stranded RNA virus. In this picture we can see the capsid structure of canine distemper virus. Next, transmission. How is this disease transmitted? So canine distemper virus is shed in all secretion and excretion starting from 5 to 7 days after infection, which is before the onset of clinical signs and continues throughout the clinical phase. Transmission is mainly via direct contact, that is droplet and aerosol, as the virus is not stable in the environment. Next, epidemiology. This disease is endemic in almost all the countries of the world. In the earlier days, Bordetella bronchoseptica and other bacteria were regarded as causative agents. But it was Dr. Henry Caird in 1905 showed for the first time that this disease is caused by a virus. And so for this, it is also known as Cairds disease. Susceptible host. Which dogs are more prone to this disease? See, the disease occurs in almost all the species of canine. The virus can also affect families such as Elephantidae, that is Asian elephant, and primates, that is Japanese monkey. But the things to be remembered is that young animals between the age group of 3 to 6 months are more susceptible due to waning of the maternal antibody. So it has been said that more the age, lesser the rate of infection. Next, coming to pathogenesis. After the entry of the virus through nostril, it first lodges in the pharynx and then the virus initially replicates in the lymphatic tissue of the respiratory tract, and as such cell-associated viremia occurs, and so the lymphatic tissue is affected. After the lymphatic tissue is affected, the infection of respiratory and gastrointestinal and also urogenital epithelium occurs. And at the last, the CNS and optic nerves also get affected. Coming to clinical findings. What are the signs and symptoms of canine distemper seen in dogs? So a transient fever up to 104 degree Fahrenheit usually occurs 3 to 6 days after infection, and there may be leukopenia at this stage. The fever subsides for several days before a second fever occurs. It is termed as biphasic fever, which may be accompanied by serous nasal discharge, mucopurulent ocular discharge, lethargy, and anorexia. Now, the dogs surviving the acute phase may have hyperkeratosis of the foot pad and epithelium of the nasal plenum, so known as heart-pet disease. So here we can clearly demarcate between the normal paws and the affected paws. We can see here that in the affected paws there is hyperkeratosis of the digital pad, and in some cases also we can see the encrustation of the skin of the paws. In the below picture we will see here there is mucus secretion from the conjunctiva. In canine distemper virus, The affected animals will have oculonasal discharge. It may also show vomition. There may be semi-solid or loose feces leading to dehydration. The animals may have congested swollen eyelids also. At the later phase of this disease, neurological complications of distemper infection may occur weeks to months after recovery from an acute infection, which is characterized by restlessness of the animal. The animal may be too excited. There will be an excessive salivation from the mouth. Here the picture is depicting itself. There will be localized involuntary muscle twitching and also convulsions. Neurological complications also include chewing movements of the jaw, termed as chewing gum fits, then nystagmus, that is the abnormal movement of the eyeball. Animal will also have paresis to paralysis. Then at the last phase, we will see the focal to generalized seizures. In some condition, there may be vesicular eruptions on the ventral aspects of the abdomen and on the inner part of the thigh of the skin. This type of distemper eruptions are known as distemper exanthema. Chronic distemper encephalitis, also termed as old dog encephalitis, is a chronic and slowly progressive neurologic disease caused by canine distemper infection in adult dogs that are not necessarily old. This disease is characterized by ataxia, compulsive movements such as head pressing or continual pacing, that is decreased movement of the animal, and also will see an incoordinated hypermetria in a fully vaccinated adult dogs. Dogs with chronic distemper encephalitis are not infectious. Moving on to lesions. So the lesions, most important lesion we'll found is thymic atrophy, that is the reduce in the size of the thymus, is a consistent postmortem finding in infected young puppies. Depending on the degree of secondary bacterial infection, bronchopneumonia, enteritis, and in skin pustules also may be present. Lesions found in the brains of dogs with neurologic complications include neuronal degeneration, gliosis, mild inflammation to severe meningoencephalomyelitis with demyelination. There may be perivascular cuffing in the meninges and brain, also non-separative leptomeningitis. We may also see intranuclear inclusion bodies within glial cells. Now diagnosis. How to diagnose a case of canine distemper? So the first thing to be done is taking history from the owner of the dog, such as a history of immunization or any contact with infected dogs. Young dogs who have not received routine immunoprophylaxis and present with rhinitis, mucopurulent oculonasal discharge, plus or minus hyperkeratosis of the foot pad and neurologic signs are highly likely to have canine distemper virus. Definitive diagnosis of acute infection can be made by fluorescent antibody testing of intact epithelial cells from conjunctival and mucous membrane. Here we can see inclusion bodies present in the blood of affected dogs. The arrow marks is depicting it. Moving on to differential diagnosis. So this disease is need to be differentiated from infectious canine hepatitis, where a condition known as hepatitis blue eye is seen due to iridocyclitis and corneal edema. It is also need to be differentiated from leptospirosis, where we will see increased thrust in urination, that is polydipsia and polyuria, which may be an indicative of chronic renal failure progressing to inability to urinate. This disease also need to be differentiated from Rocky Mountain spotted fever, where signs like fever, anorexia, lymphadenopathy, polyarthritis, coughing or dyspnea, abdominal pain, vomiting and diarrhea can be seen. But the most important thing to be differentiated from canine distemper virus is edema of the face of extremities, which is not seen in canine distemper virus. Now treatment. Now how to treat a case of canine distemper. So treatments are symptomatic and supportive as it is a viral disease aimed at limiting secondary bacterial invasion, supporting fluid balance and controlling neurologic manifestations. So the treatment includes broad spectrum antibiotics such as ceftriaxone injection available as Wofar or Accept in the market at the rate of 2.2 mg per kg body weight subcut. Then we can also go for ceftriaxone injection available as Wosef or Intercef at the rate of 15 to 25 mg per kg body weight intramuscularly, or we can also go for intravenous or subcut. Then to overcome the fluid loss from the body, we can use infuse balanced electrolyte solutions such as normal saline. Then to stop the mucus secretion from the nose or mouth, we can go for syrup such as bromhexin syrup, then Levolin syrup. Antipyretics and analgesics include flunixin injection and ketoprofen injection at different dose rates. We can also go for antihistaminics. Then in severe diarrhea, we can go for antidiarrheal, that is for example Oflokind OZ PET suspension is available in the market. Then in case of vomiting, we go for antiemetics, and that is Bomicet and Regaltab. Next, to prevent epileptic or seizure in case of dog, we can go for anticonvulsant or anti-epileptic drug, which include compose injection with the composition of diazepam at the dose rate of 0.5 to 1 mg per kg body weight, both intramuscular or intravenously we can inject. Then it is also available in the anticonvulsant drug is also available in tablet, that is Gardinel of phenobarbital composition at the dose rate of 2.2 to 6.6 mg per kg body weight orally. Lastly, coming to prevention. To prevent this disease, a widespread vaccination of domestic dogs is most essential. So a series of 3 immunization from 6 to 16 weeks of age followed by yearly booster is a recommended preventive measure. The pups are vaccinated with MLV vaccine. MLV measles vaccine is administered intramuscular to pups 6 to 7 week old and is followed with at least 2 or more doses of MLV distemper vaccine when they are 12 to 16 week old. Now the thing to be remembered is that MLV vaccines should not be used in late pregnant or early lactation bitches. So the vaccine which are available in India are Canigen DHPPIL, one of the most important vaccine. This vaccine is also effective against different viral diseases, that is such as infectious canine hepatitis, then also parvovirus infection, then parainfluenza, and also for leptospirosis. Other vaccine available in India are like Candur DHL, then Candur DH, Canilab DHL, Pentadog, Vanguard 5L, and this vaccine can be given at a dose rate of 2 ml subcutaneously. So these are the references from where I have presented this presentation. Thank you for watching this video.